Y'all, Deebo just got traded to the Washington Commanders. He just got traded to the Washington Commanders. Oh my God, 49ers fans, how we feeling about this, honestly? How we feeling about it? They traded him in exchange for a fifth round draft pick. But the deal cannot be finalized until March 12th because now that we in a new year, new stuff has to be processed and everything, but it's not going to be processed till March 12th. Now he going over there with Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin. Jaden Daniels, he is about to have a all-pro receiver on his team with Samuels. With Samuels. What comes with this trade also is that Deebo is going to be playing Jaden Hurst a little bit more. So he's going to get more familiar with the Eagles, okay? He's going to get way more familiar with the Eagles. Last year, he finished his stat wise with 806 yards from scrimmage, but only 4 touchdowns. I'm sorry, Deebo. I'm sorry. Blame it on Brock. Blame it on whoever. But you know what? This trade was actually needed because he cries too much. He whines too much. He honestly do. He really do, in my opinion. So go ahead and be Washington. Okay, cool. I hope you better success with Washington, but who knows? Who knows? Washington, however, their offense last year was ranked fifth in scoring and seventh in yards last season. So Deebo adding to the picture, it's gonna make it more explosive. I don't know. I guess it's for the best at the end of the day. Before a fifth round draft pick, fifth? I don't know, y'all. Check out this clip and please leave me a comment section down below. Please leave me a comment section down below what y'all think about this because this is just ridiculous.
Breaking news into CBS Sports HQ. Deebo Samuel is headed to Washington, according to our Jonathan Jones. The Commanders are sending a fifth-round pick to San Francisco, and the 49ers gave Samuel permission to seek a trade in early February. Samuel had 806 yards from scrimmage and 4 TDs this season, the second lowest totals in his career in each category. And with that, we bring in CBS Sports NFL lead insider Jonathan Jones. And Jonathan, you know, for a lot of us, this is not a surprise. It felt like this was just a matter of when, not if. How did we reach this conclusion where Deebo and the 49ers part ways and now he's on the Commanders?
Yeah, Chris, I'm back home right now, but just spent the past week in Indianapolis. That's where deals get done, right? And so we are about a week and a half away from the start of free agency, the official start. So this trade is not official until March the 12th. But it happened because John Lynch was there at the Combine, was able to talk with teams, talk with his buddy Adam Peters, right? He employed him for several years there in San Francisco. Now, of course, he's the general manager of the Washington Commanders, and they were able to hammer out a deal. There was interest from other teams, the Houston Texans. There was some light interest from the Pittsburgh Steelers, as there had been for some time. But ultimately, it's the Washington Commanders. Deebo Samuel wanted to go there, wanted to play for Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury, wanted to play with Jaden Daniels, wanted to, keep his salary at what it was and be on a contender with an opportunity to rebound from his down year last year, as you noted earlier. And so that's why you see Deebo Samuel wanting to go there. Look, it's really remarkable that Washington is a destination spot now for a lot of free agents, considering what it was like there a mere 2 years ago or so, and for the previous couple of decades. But this is a credit to John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, the relationships that they have with their players there, because look, Deebo Samuel saw the writing on the wall last fall when they signed Brandon Ayuk to that 4-year contract extension. One of them was not going to be around after the 2024 season. And so he asked for permission to talk with other teams. It's granted. And that is how we wind up getting here, where Deebo Samuel, no longer with the San Francisco 49ers, a chance to, get right a little bit with a new team. And that new team, of course, is the Washington Commanders.
So let's stay on the Commanders, Jonathan. So you look at a team that really did not have dynamic playmakers outside of Jaden Daniels and Scary Terry and Terry McLaurin, right? Now you add Deebo Samuel, who you think is going to be really motivated to show the 49ers something to prove. But what do you think is next for the Commanders as they look to build their whole team around Jaden Daniels, their franchise QB?
Well, this is the time period. This is it. And they have cap space. Before this trade, they were going to have about $81 million in cap space. Doing some quick math, it'll be in the mid-60s with this trade here. But we see their playmakers right there. Also, it's just going to give them another element, right? Because we know how Deebo has been used with the San Francisco 49ers back when he was a little healthier and probably a little skinnier as well, as that sort of running back weapon option as well as that pass catcher. And we see De'Ami Brown and the guys that they have on this team that can also help out. Olamide Zaccheaus as well. So they're going to have some speed out there. Yeah, Terry McLaurin is the big name. Yeah, of course, Deebo Samuel's the big name. But this is another element to that offensive scheme and weaponry that Cliff Kingsbury has. And I don't know that the Commanders and that group necessarily believe in championship windows, right, philosophically. But they did better than expectations this past year. There's no question about it. Came up short against the Philadelphia Eagles, who were a better team than the Commanders in that NFC title game and throughout the season. However, you're going to have to do a little bit more. We saw them go out and get Marshawn Lattimore. We'll see if that trade winds up ultimately being worth the high price that they paid for Marshawn, considering the soft tissue injuries that he's been dealing with the last couple of years. But if you can get a rejuvenated Deebo Samuel, if you can use him in the ways that he was used when he was one of the best weapons in football a few years ago, and if you don't have a sophomore slump from Jaden Daniels, right? If you can bring back so many of these potential free agents, Zach Ertz, right? He's very happy to be in Washington, but what are you going to pay a mid-30s tight end, right? And so there's still some questions the Commanders have to work out, but again, it's great that guys want to be there. And so by acquiring Deebo Samuel, that's going to send a message, one, to free agents who want to go to Washington, but two, free agents to be who are with the Washington Commanders in 2024 that, hey, we're loading up over here, guys. Maybe you guys should come on back.
Absolutely. This is the place to be. We're no longer a laughingstock, and for so long you felt like it was just going to be forever the way the franchise was run. But now you got Jaden Daniels, new ownership, and they are in a different place. Now, on the 49ers side, right, of course, they have to replace Deebo Samuel. That's not an easy guy, right, to replace. What is next for them as they look to change maybe some of their philosophy on offense in getting somebody like a Deebo, or maybe just somebody else, right, who's going to take the top off the field?
So because we have sort of known that it was going to be Ayuk or Deebo going back to the fall, this is something that the Niners have been planning and preparing for some time, right? I mean, obviously, when they went for it in 2024, when they paid Trent Williams, when they paid Christian McCaffrey, knowing that they had 1 year left of one of the best deals in all of sports for a team with Brock Purdy on that 7th round pick contract, they knew in 2024, all right, we're not going to be able to keep this band together in 25. Somebody's going to go. And so because of that, they go out and they draft Ricky Pearsall and they extend Ayuk. And so Deebo was left out in the cold a little bit. So they've been thinking about that from a weaponry perspective. But what's next for the Niners in terms of what they're going to do salary-wise? Well, it's Brock Purdy. And that is going to be a very interesting contract negotiation, one that, the Niners usually, they don't like doing it, but it's been working out this way where they don't get contracts done until deep into training camp. They don't want that to be the case. What's going to be Brock Purdy's number? Is it going to be $55 million per year? Is it going to be 50? Is it going to be 45? That's a wide range. You can do a lot of things with that $10 million that you have in that sort of delta there. And so they're going to have to hammer out that deal. That is certainly what's going to be next. And then is there going to be money else to go around? We'll see what winds up happening with the Dre Greenlaw, for example. So long story short, the Niners knew that they were spending a lot of money in 2024 because they got so close in 2023 with that overtime Super Bowl loss. And then when it didn't happen, I think the purse strings were sort of tightened up there. And so Deebo Samuel will now be on the ledger for the Washington Commanders. The Niners have been preparing for life without Deebo Samuel, and now here we are. Once we get officially to March 12th, that life without Deebo Samuel will be a reality.
Jonathan Jones, we always appreciate your insight. One of the best in the biz. Appreciate the time, man. And here is the tweet from the Washington Commanders official account. Deebo from Friday. Y'all know who he is. He's looking to bring pain to opposing defenses come 2025 in the fall.